Well, guys, looks like it's pretty much confirmed now. Mbappe is going to win the La Liga Player of the Month for September. He scored again, I think yesterday, I believe, and we'll talk about that a little bit because there's a non-zero chance to me EA just straight up doesn't release him. So I want to discuss that possibility. And also if they do, like, how do we prepare for that? So we'll discuss that. We've got the market kind of doing what we expected as well. So we'll discuss that. A lot of like random stuff to talk about today. The leaks, there are some of them. The SBCs and objectives don't really look like all that crazy, but if you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. There will be a link in the top of the description. They're the safest and the cheapest option, and you can use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. But okay, as always, I say it every day. Thank you guys so much for being here. I did not stream today. I might try and get one in the really early morning today, but if not, we'll be back on Monday for the usual streams. Trying to do at least 5 days a week right now is my absolute goal. But self-promotion over. 80 plus player picks came out that were tradable, 12,500 coins or just $2 here you could put in. And the discussion kind of continues right now about the way the reward structure has been and how forgiving is it, how rewarding is it all. Like right now, squad battles, I think, ends in 4 or 5 hours from when I'm recording this video. And this is actually, if you get in like the elite range, it's kind of better than Division Rivals rewards seems to be for some people. So is that really what EA wants? I would highly doubt that. It's kind of why I think we'll probably see a Rivals reward patch at some point, or maybe even just next season they'll be updated to be a lot better, because I don't think EA wants squad battles rewards to be better than Rivals. I just think they're trying to nerf them in general, trying to nerf all rewards a little bit, and then they kind of went a little too far with Rivals, I think. But anyway, if you're on stream too, I was a little annoyed about the Cornerstones objective. Well, first of all, it's not even tracking right, and I don't know if they fixed that yet or not. They haven't announced there's been a fix for it. They've been saying that they've been looking at it. They tweeted that out, but there's been no like, oh yeah, it's fixed now. So I was a little annoyed about this, and the reason being is just that the rewards are not very good. And keep in mind, there's no match limits here. There's no entry limit, so I guess that's why they made them not as good. It's just like time, basically. That's it. It's kind of whatever with the card itself. To me, it's more so the packs, and they're just not very good. And I think cups to me are the way that EA can really make this game special. I think just adding in this new kind of whole element to the game, and I just don't see why they're not embracing that a little bit more here, as we have, well, this event ends in 1 day and 15 hours. I don't know if there's just not one coming up between then, if we have just a week of no live events. What do I really know? I don't know. Rategi came out as well, and he looks okay. I do like his playstyles a bit, and also 91 base finishing is nice. He's got first touch and enforcer there, low driven shot with some decent rolls as well. Okay, he's kind of right along the lines of the other leaks that we have that we'll go and look at. But also, guys, make sure you're doing the prime bronze and prime silver players upgrades. It's only once a week you can do, but it is tradable, and it's definitely just good coins to go and get. But yeah, other than that, right now for content, there isn't really much going on with the new promo. And we'll talk plenty more about the market when we get to that part of the video. But also, first bit of news here is Pepe got the upgrade. +1 upgrade coming from Nicolas Pepe. If you guys forgot, which I actually did myself earlier, that it's actually +1s, not +2s right now for this time of year. So Pepe's card will look like this. And I don't think it's 83 shooting if you evote him. I'm pretty sure it's 82 shooting if you evote him. But anyway, yeah, I've really only heard good things about him still. So I got to try him out a lot more than I did. And okay, we'll quickly look at the Team 1 SBCs or objectives here. There's not really a whole lot of interesting things to look at here. We have Goretzka and Kudus' stats, if you guys didn't see this in our stream on Friday. Goretzka's stats are not like that crazy, right? Kudus's actually are pretty decent, but this is actually for the Gauntlet reward, apparently, which actually, to be fair to EA, I do want to say there is a Gauntlet coming up in like 2 days or 3 days, so there is actually a live event happening. I do want to be fair to them. A Gauntlet coming out is pretty much a live event, but this is a reward apparently for a part of the Gauntlet, which I'm assuming will probably be the best reward. This is the official stats here. We saw Zubimendi already, and he looks like my fat ass. Nico Paz actually looks like an okay cam. 84 pace, 86 dribbling. Jared Bowen is in here also. Could be SBC, could be an objective. Thompson, 88 pace, 86 dribbling. Chelsea Lynx, which has like Wrighton and Myra Ramirez, so that's kind of nice. We saw Arnau Martinez already, and then Prince and Toze down here we've not seen yet as squad foundations players. So that's kind of all of the cards right now that we have leaked. And yeah, Goretzka's the big one we still haven't seen yet, which I'm kind of surprised by. And he looks like he's pretty good, but not going to be some kind of unbelievable card that's going to crash center mids, be 150, 250k, and well, I guess if Zubimendi was 100k, then maybe Goretzka is going to be 150 or 200k, which he should not be. Probably not worthy of any real panic here on a Goretzka flashback card that we got leaked. And then next up here, we got a poll from EA that they tweeted out, actually. I think it was in the screenshot right down here. They said, who deserves a higher rating? It's Harry Kane, Michael Olise, Luis Diaz, Serge Gnabry there for Bayern players. And Olise won the poll. That pretty much guarantees Olise being in ratings reload. So we can pretty much say right now Michael Olise is our first ratings reload leak. We'll probably have more of these as they give out more polls over the next like few days or so, because if you guys don't know, Cornerstones is a 2-week promo, so we got a little ways to go yet, but we have our first card pretty much leaked right there. And next up here, we take a slight detour on literally FC26, and we'll go back to it in just a minute here, but we got to talk about this. So EA is nearing apparently a $50 billion deal to go private. Investors include Newcastle's owners, the Saudi Public Investment Fund. There's a lot more than that, but yes, apparently EA could be going private here if this deal actually comes to fruition, and there's been a lot of speculation about what that could mean for just the game in general, right? Because right now it's all based upon shareholders and needing to meet revenue goals and whatever you want to say, which still, if it goes private, there's going to be private equity in it. There's going to be investors still, just obviously it's going to be private, not public, so there still will be goals to meet and stuff. But how is this going to affect things if this does come true? I want to ask you guys, because honestly, I don't know myself. If this is your area of expertise, a company like EA going private, like, is that a good thing for the average consumer? Is it a bad thing for the average consumer? If you had to take your best guess, obviously it's probably all dependent on a million different things, and there is no black and white answer here, but I just wanted to ask you guys because I feel like it has to change things, at least to a certain degree. Just in what way will it change things? Will it be better or worse? I don't know. So lobbing the alley-oop to you guys if you in the comments know anything about what a company as big as EA going private could look like, right? And also kind of random, but Sergio Busquets has retired too, guys. Obviously going to be an icon, but I do wonder if we'll see an end of an era Busquets coming out at some point here, and then maybe next year we end up seeing an icon Busquets, who 66 pace for Busquets is actually pretty generous compared to what FIFA gave him for many years there. And it's always funny to me seeing like Busquets concept cards give him 86 dribbling, because people like don't realize, I guess, or maybe it's not that they don't realize, but they associate like great dribbling with flashiness. But Busquets is one of the best dribblers, especially for a DM. I mean, he was an incredible dribbler. It just was the least flashy thing you've ever seen in your life. But anyway, yeah, it's press proven right for Busquets. Maybe, yeah. Then next up here, we have EA highlighting some of the Team of the Week changes. So we did already know, I think, one of these because we know the cup competitions with the trophy design on the card. We kind of already knew that, but they did highlight some of the changes here. If we zoom in a little bit, we have new playstyles and sub-attribute adjustments, meaning some Team of the Week items may now receive new playstyles or sub-attribute tweaks that directly reflect standout real-world performances. And then with this as well, this kind of leads into this, and we'll talk about it. So lateral upgrades, as part of our broader plan to slow the power curve in this game, we're introducing more lateral adjustments to Team of the Week and campaign items. This means specific sub-attribute roles or playstyle upgrades may be unique to that version and won't necessarily carry forward into subsequent special versions, which basically means, say someone like Zubamendi, right? Zubamendi scored that long shot, so they gave him Power Shot Plus, or even like the base Power Shot playstyle on his Team of the Week card. Say in 2 months he gets another inform, he probably won't have that Power Shot Plus playstyle or base Power Shot playstyle on his next inform because it's specific to that card, and that's how he got the inform, was through the long shot. So EA are kind of doing here what they used to do maybe back in like 17, 18, 19 times, when there would be kind of different unique quirks on like random cards. Team of the Weeks, if they played at striker randomly, even though it was just one game and they have a striker inform, they won't get striker on another card later, or certain playstyles or certain stats. They're trying to make each card kind of more meaningful, I guess, in a way, and all have kind of different quirks in them. We got cup competitions here we talked about already. UEFA competitions do not count, and then featured Team of the Weeks will still have those extra boosts there, and they'll have the star symbol on them. But I do like the idea of the changing Team of the Week cards based upon how they received that, and they might not necessarily get that exact attribute boost on their next inform card because it's not how they got their inform, right? Say one was a finesse shot and they don't have finesse shot play style, well, they might give the player base finesse shot on their first inform. Their second inform, it wasn't a finesse shot, then they just won't give them that. As much as I don't like the playstyle system that much, it is at least, you make cards more special in that way, I suppose, based upon their real life performances. And now let's talk about these Player of the Month cards. So first of all, Liga F as well. Claudia Pina's got some mad hype right now because she's being used by the pros, and now her gold card is literally extinct. I think at 10,000 coins. We can actually just type her in. She's been extinct like the last 2 days pretty much, I believe, and she still is at 10,000. She has so many great play styles, and the pros are saying dribbling is the meta, and she also has tiki-taka and incisive, and then now she's probably going to get a Player of the Month card. This is a pretty substantial boost on her. I don't think she'd probably be seeing a +3 pace. So she has 79 pace, probably probably goes to 80 pace if I had to guess. But we got to account for this, and now we also need to account for the Mbappe, which he scored, and now we're probably going to get a card that might look something like this in not very long. I mean, it would probably be in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. So what would that do to the market? Well, first of all, I want to say, I think there's a non-zero chance that they don't release Mbappe. Like, if he happens to win it, they could literally just say, no, like, we're not going to release him because we don't want an SBC that good this early. However, I do think EA like money, and I think that there's going to be a lot of people who are going to drop hella FC points on untradeable store packs, and I still would be inclined to believe that they would want to release it simply due to that reason. So if it is going to come out at some point here, I do think no matter what happens, which is, we talked about this before, but 89 rated fodder is already like 1,000 or 2 up from where we talked about it. It's going to go higher than even 15K here. If Mbappe comes out, it will go higher than this. I don't think it's going to go too crazy high because he's going to be like, I can't even imagine how expensive this SBC is going to be. Base Mbappe right now, guys, is sitting at, I think it's like 3.8 right now on console, I want to say. Exactly 3.8. Got some 3.7 sales in here too, lowest being 3.65. So yeah, if he happens to stay this price, it would be a 5.5 million coin SBC, which how do you even drop that at this time of the year? It doesn't even really, it seems impossible, honestly. So what they'd have to do is basically make hella 89 rated squads, and right now there's only 4 89s to discard. So I don't even know what you do there. Maybe you have to just drop a ton of 88 squads then, because you can actually have 88 squads that are somewhat close to discard. I don't even know what they do. This is partly why it might not happen, but if it does happen, these guys are going to go higher than this. Every rating here is going to go higher than this. And Pina as well. If Claudia Pina comes out, she's like 86 squads, 87 squads, she'll make the market go way up too. So be aware of that. You could, if you have a lot of coins right now, you could just club stock fodder, because odds are at some point in the relative near future, they are going to be going up. You just have to wait a while. But yeah, that's like the fodder angle to this. And by the way, 84s are slightly going up here, which is nice to see if you bought some at 750 when we talked about it. The player angle, like the market angle here, what will happen? To be honest with you, not much. Claudia Pina, I'm guessing, will also be very expensive. So I'm not going to assume there'll be a lot of selling for that. If somehow she's like way cheaper than we expect, then sure, the attackers are probably going way down. But I'm going to bet that will not be the case. So I probably don't think the market actually does too much with both these SBCs coming out. We can reevaluate in like a week or something, but I don't think much is going to happen here. You know, if we got Mbappe in January, it'd be a lot different to me. There could be some big time selling happening, just panic in general. I think there will still be some just dumbasses selling shit because they're panicking, but they'll have to buy back because you can't afford Mbappe. So I wouldn't worry about things too much. But just right now, the market in general, what are we looking like? So the expensive cards continue to kind of stay up. Icons and heroes, guys, went crazy. So hopefully you guys ended up buying some. But I think what we need to look at here, really interesting thing to talk about, is the Gauntlet that comes out in a few days. You need different squads for each, like, I think it's each 3 games you need different squads, or maybe it's 5 games of 3 different squads. I don't remember exactly. It's something like that. Either way, you need like at least 3 squads here. I'm very curious to see what will happen with the market. I do think the really low gold cards should actually do pretty damn well. I think a card like Kolo Muani, post squad battles rewards, which you should be seeing this already by squad battles rewards, I actually think you can buy a card like this, because I don't know what's going to come out in the next 2 or 3 days here to really boost supply up on these lower golds. There'll obviously be some more promo packs and stuff, but the big stuff's kind of gone already. The big hype I'm kind of talking about here. You could probably buy these guys and have them do pretty well, actually, because people will need more squads. They'll spend like 3K a card on a new squad. But I actually think this kind of player does pretty well for a Gauntlet. That's my guess. There is a chance that, yeah, cards like De Jong here at 218K, you might see somebody sell a card like this to go and fund some better players for more squads, I guess. But I don't think that'll happen as much as some people are expecting. I think these guys will probably be just fine. I just think the best investment play here is some of these like 3K cards or 4K cards, like even the Mage at 7.5. I think they actually could do pretty well because people will just need to buy some sweaty players for a Gauntlet team, right? So I maybe look at that. And other than that, that's kind of my investment tips right now, I guess. General market outlook to me is I think it should do just fine into this week. I don't see what makes anything drop. We'll see Team 2 leaks on like Wednesday this week, and if it's insane, I guess maybe, but we already have seen a pretty decent team and how it doesn't really affect much, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. And then we have our first weekend league, which will make demand go crazy. So I'm going to say that the market will be just fine over the next week or so, barring any catastrophic surprise that EA drops sack on our foreheads and drops 250k tradable packs, something like that, which is always a possibility, but I think we're probably just fine right now. Let's read some of your comments now. We got Z Bites. These takes are so so whiny to me. The game has been out for 1 week and people have already determined that the power curve is ruined. We don't even know what the power curve looks like yet. A promo hasn't even been released yet. Now it has, but I would assume he's probably still just fine with it because the promo was not that crazy. Everyone just needs to slow down and enjoy what is clearly some better gameplay. I think your sentiment is true for the most part. On this channel, things will probably sound a bit more whiny. We talk about things that could be going wrong on this channel. Like we just tend to talk about things that are concerns or worries that could end up, you know, going somewhere that we don't like. You know, we just talk about everything here. So obviously we do need to kind of see how things play out here. But I think the only like the real thing that I think is worthy of complaining is the rivals rewards. They're just not very good. And I don't think many are complaining about the power curve itself. I think people are liking that. It's just more so the rewards right now, which I get can't be crazy because you want people to have to, you know, improve their teams more than they did have to last year. But I do think the sentiment though is important. Like just slow down. Yeah, I agree. We probably should just, you know, slow down, see what happens. Next up, we got Titan Monkey. Regarding the defending poll, whichever way you feel about it, that poll is not a fair representation of how the majority feel. Standard players will jump on today and will have their say, plus certain content creators are encouraging their thousands of viewers to go vote neutral, and those viewers have openly admitted to creating masses of fake accounts to beef up the neutral votes. And I guess I want to ask you guys, like, do you guys feel the defending is okay right now? Do you feel it's not good enough? Do you feel it is too good? I personally think just in general, I always really hesitate wanting to improve defending because EA, when they're allowed to improve defending, they basically take it to the extreme and it starts being insane. I'm trying to think of the last time we had like a full year where defending wasn't the best or was just a lot more difficult. I think it might be 17. It might be FIFA 17. The last time it was like, oh, it's kind of hard. And EA never really patched it. Like every year defending is pretty difficult on day one. EA immediately patch it and we go back to the gameplay that we've pretty much had for the last 6 years. So for me, even if I was against defending being this way, I would still be like, hey, it's different gameplay. We're going to go back. If we patch all this shit, I worry we're just going to make it the exact same game we've had the last 3 years that we didn't like. And there, of course, there'll be some improvements, like the passing is a little more responsive. Dribbling is better, so maybe like defending boost isn't the worst thing, and it'll kind of cancel each other out. But I just worry. I worry about what might happen if we give EA the chance to boost defending and say, hey, please help us defend. And also, like Machenko says here, it's important to remember, like, the rewards are going to change each season. They said pretty much every game mode, the rewards are going to change each season. So season 1 rewards being this way, is it the worst thing ever? No, it's probably not. I like the rewards being worse. I genuinely do. I just think even in rivals, it's like pushing a point that's like, you're not making anything here, really. But I genuinely do think the rewards being a little worse is okay. But of course, am I being a hypocrite because I am giving EA the license to make things worse? Will they take advantage of that and make things way worse? They definitely could do that. But of course, let me know what you think in the comments. I love you all. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you.